Welcome to Ear Biscuits, the podcast where two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Rhett.
And I'm Link. This week at the round table of dim lighting, we are going to investigate a novel wherein we have been mentioned.
Yep.
We are also going to conduct a thorough investigation into Jenna's interactions with Joe Jonas in the Mythical restroom.
And the part that I
you're
may or
laughing
may
it
not
off,
have played
huh?
in that.
I don't know. You're representing us when you interact with, a high-profile guest that's coming through here, Jenna. So this is an official investigation into your actions.
Perfect. Love that.
And more. Where do you want to start? Because I do see that we have a book here, and I assume this is the book.
This is the book, and it has been marked.
Because I heard about
Yes.
this, but
By
we wanted to
Jenna?
wait until we had the
by
physical
me,
copy.
But Jamie and I both read
Okay.
it.
Yes,
we
it's very
love
good.
it.
Mhm.
It's great. It's
we're
a
not,
good book.
We're not going to do that yet.
Yeah.
We're teasing that. We're in a book that is romantic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Apparently at 4 different places.
But I want to hear about this because I played a role in this Joe Jonas situation, and I feel like I'm being blamed for something.
I've only heard bits and pieces, so I'm just concerned.
I did immediately come in hot and blame you.
Well, look, you
Start at the
tell
beginning.
it from your perspective.
All right. So we were filming that day, and when certain celebrities and guests come, one of our all gender restrooms, they're just restroom stalls that we have, like they're individual stalls.
They're individual rooms.
Well,
They're
there's
individual
just
rooms.
just a toilet.
Just
a toilet and a
toilet
sink
and a sink.
that you can lock yourself into.
Just a regular restroom you can lock yourself into. So
a half bath, we might call it.
a half bath. It is a half bath. Yeah.
I never called it that, but yeah. If you need me, where's Rhett? He's in the half bath.
Yeah. So we have two half baths.
That don't make a hole.
Yeah. And whenever celebrities come, we put like a little sign on one of the doors that says it's the talent restroom. So they never have to wait, and there's always a restroom available.
And it's clean.
And it's clean.
Yeah,
And it smells
it's
good.
been
And it
prepped.
smells good. Just as a way that like there's always a spot.
Yeah.
So I need to go to the restroom, and I went into the one not labeled talent, and did my business.
That was good.
that was good.
Uh-huh,
That was good. I
Yep.
followed the rules. And then there was like a knock at the door, and I was like, just a second, as I was like finishing up washing my hands and stuff. And okay, so yeah, I did number 2, but I sprayed poopery. And then as I am washing my hands, I had a lingering fart, and I let out a lingering fart.
Oh
It's
my
a bathroom.
God. Oh
It's
my
a
God.
bathroom. This is what you do in a bathroom.
Yep.
I'm just a
Yep.
girl
Especially a half
who
bath.
farts sometimes,
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
So
Didn't know that happened.
I did my business.
Some of them do. Some girls fart.
I did my business, and I opened the door, and it was Joe Jonas looking right at me.
He's a handsome man, is he not?
He was a handsome man, and I
Yeah.
just go, oh! And he goes, hey! And I was like, ha! And then I walked away, 'cause I was like, why is he standing outside the bathroom when the talent one is there? I turn and look, someone is in the talent restroom, and Joe Jonas walks in to my fart-filled restroom! My fart-filled restroom!
Because
I am mortified!
Jonas is the only talent that's
he
there.
walked it right in to my farts.
Did you see a look on his face as he walked in? Did he make it? Was he like, oh?
As I did not turn around to look. I did
gonna
not
say,
turn
I
around
would
to
not
look
have.
because
Could've
I was
waited.
like, no, he's going into my restroom.
Okay.
Wait until he comes back out. I have some
So
follow-up
then
questions.
I was like, who is the jerk that is in the talent restroom
Can
right
I tell this
now?
from my perspective?
Yeah,
Nick
absolutely.
At this
Jonas.
point?
Yes.
So I needed to pee, and I went to the 2 half baths, and there was the one, I knocked on the door that didn't have talent on it, and someone said, yeah, in here, or yes, or something.
I think that was Jenna.
And then I saw another one, and it said talent, and I looked at myself, and I said, I'm talented.
Oh God.
And I mean, if I'm not considered talent around here, who is, right? Joe Jonas? And so I also did not, here's the thing. You may not have an appreciation for how little Link and I know about what's going on here, right? So we kind of keep to ourselves and we have the things that we do.
I didn't know Joe Jonas was going to be
We
in
did
the
not
building.
Joe Jonas was going to be here.
Because he was, I mean, spoiler alert, he's an upcoming guest on Last Meals,
Yes.
not on Good Mythical Morning. So
Yeah.
don't get your hopes up. We never met him. Didn't get to meet him.
So we have, in fact, there's somebody here today. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to spoil multiple Last Meals guests that I'd like to meet, and sometimes we do. But
usually
we don't change our schedules in order to meet someone.
But they don't put the talent sign on the bathroom unless somebody besides me or you is here.
Correct.
And I do know that, but I will say that I have still used that restroom because I'm awesome. I'm clean and I'm talented.
Here's what I wouldn't do.
I'm clean talent.
Here's what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't take a shit in the talent restroom on a talent day. I wouldn't do that.
Right.
But I was like a little tinkle, a little sprinkle, and I'm in and out, and I'm out, you know? So I came out of the talent restroom. It was quite a talented urination that I did, and I made sure that there was no splatter or anything. I didn't sit down to pee, which is a great way to assure that, because I didn't want to, like soil the talent seat. I didn't know who it could be, just like get a stray butt hair on it or something.
Oh God.
So I got up, I got out, and I opened the door and I see a whole posse. I see like other people that I don't recognize who don't work for us. I'm like, oh, this must be the people for the person who's here.
Whoever should be in here that's not me.
And I'm like, why are they standing outside this bathroom? Oh, he must have had to go into the other bathroom, or he must be about to go into the other bathroom. That's my perspective. And then I ran into Jenna shortly thereafter.
By run in, I was like hanging back, waiting to see who would come out of the talent restroom.
Yeah,
because I was like, whoever this is
Yeah, it was me.
Has really messed up your
really
mojo.
has really just fully messed up my mojo. And then,
Whoever that is the reason you farted on Joe Jonas.
yeah, I
right,
basically
yeah.
farted on Joe Jonas.
Yeah. It was still in there probably at the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was 100% still in there
Yeah.
at the time. So
Yeah.
then,
And then, so you see it's Rhett.
I see it's Rhett, and I see him go back into wardrobe. So I'm like, Rhett,
Yeah.
how could you? How could you? And you're like, what?
It
It's
was
like,
just bad timing.
you
I'll
use
tell
the
you.
talent restroom. And then I told you that whole story in wardrobe. I was like,
Yeah,
100%
listen.
farted.
Listen, here's what I gotta say. I apologize. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have taken that chance. I put you in a really awkward situation. But here's the thing, okay? I apologize, but I've never met Joe. I didn't meet him the other day. He seems like a delightful guy. And I think, celebrities who have red carpets rolled out for them wherever they go, and talent things put on doors before they go into them. Every once in a while, they need a little taste of humanity, or maybe a little smell of humanity. Just every once in a while, they need to be reminded that they're a person too. And so I feel like we did a little favor. I'm not saying that we needed to bring him down from his. He's not on a high horse. He seems like a humble guy, as far as I can tell. But so what I'm just saying is that he probably even appreciated it. I bet you when Joe Jonas walked into that bathroom and smelled whatever you had just done,
Yeah.
he was like, you know what?
Real people.
I needed that. I needed that. That's what I needed today.
I actually heard that he kept getting choked up on Last Meals.
Yeah, now we know why.
It was like,
Yeah.
Jenna, you have this bragging right to take into the rest of your life.
That's right.
That something that was inside of you
Okay.
was then inside Joe Jonas.
Well, okay. Don't get too excited about that, because that's true of everybody. Anything that's been inside anyone has also been inside everyone. Air.
Okay.
So, but not as immediate as it was with
something
Jenna.
that you created and released into the world was consumed in part by Joe Jonas.
Yeah.
How about that?
Is this better than the fart sculptures? I don't think so, but
It's pretty good.
It's a
though.
close second.
It's your version of it.
my
It's a
version
close
of my
second.
fart
It's a
sculpture.
really close second. Thank you, Joe, for being here.
Yeah, poopery was not going to save
Thank
you
you.
there.
Yeah, it wasn't going to save me. Yeah, thank you, Joe, and you're welcome.
But you did spray the poopery in the bowl.
Of course I did, 'cause
beforehand.
that is what you're supposed to
Yeah,
do.
right. Mhm.
Yes.
But then
I'm not an animal.
when we also sprayed it in the room.
I did not spray it in the room.
Well,
Well, you didn't
you
know
should
Joe
have. If
Jonas
you would have
was
done it
gonna be
wrong,
outside.
ironically, it might would have felt.
It would have been okay.
I do both.
Yeah. In and over.
I spray it on the water and then I spray it in the air.
I spray it right at face level for the average heighted person right when they walk in, right before I leave. Just like right there, so they'll walk into a cloud of poopery.
When you were in the talent restroom, it seems to me that Mr. Jonas should have knocked upon your door first.
Somebody, well, yeah, somebody did.
It was Joe Jonas.
Yeah.
And what'd you say?
Yep. That's what I said.
Yep.
I mean,
He was like, oh, who else is here?
here's the thing.
Are they more
The
talented
question
than
that's
me?
being asked with a knock is someone in there, and the answer is yep.
Yep.
I don't need to be like, someone's in here. I mean, you know that. Yep. Really, any sign of life is appropriate. Yee. Anything. You could do anything when somebody knocks on it.
What about that?
You could fart real loud.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
do that too.
It's a choice that some people make.
Wow. Again, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of not because I love the story.
This is airing the day after my birthday, and in honor of my birthday, I'm giving 20% off any level of the Mythical Society. If you've been thinking about joining Mythical Society, now through June 14th, you have the opportunity to do that at a 20% discount. So jump on that. You have to use code SERPENTKING, all one word, at checkout at mythicalsociety.com. Spread the word if you're trying to get other people to join the society. Lots of exclusive content, exclusive fan-driven experiences and specials. Lots of access and inside information. Mythicalsociety.com.
Let's talk about this book. How about we? Okay, so I can't remember who it was. It was one of you that talked about this. You said that we had been featured in a book, and we wanted to verify that that was the case. Because honestly, I thought that if we had been mentioned in a book, that more people would have told us. Because this book, Unloved, a novel by Peyton Corinne, author of Unsteady, is a popular romance novel. You know, this is not, I mean, this is like,
Oh, really?
yeah, like she's selling a lot of these. She's sold a lot of this, I don't know, is it
It's the second in the series.
second in the series?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
Unsteady's the first.
I mean, a lot of people have read this. A lot of people love it.
Jenna, had you heard of this book before us? I know you hear of a lot of books.
I'd heard of this series,
Okay.
yeah, but I didn't know either.
So what's marked here?
Okay. So I've already, I already read through this, just so I'd be ready.
Okay. Give it to me.
Okay, and you have to piece this together, okay? And ladies, please interject. Any
Both
more
of you have read
context.
this?
Yes.
The whole book?
Yes.
Yeah, really
Okay.
quick read.
You want to
Gracious.
give us a quick summary of what the book's about?
Yeah, so the book is about this particular one, two college students, Freddie and Ro, and they have this like tutor student, even though they're both students, relationship, and it's a very
Spicy.
will they, won't they,
Yeah.
trying to keep professional, but the urges are too strong type
Okay.
situation. And he's like a savior to her. They save each other in different ways.
What subject?
Chemistry?
Oh, yeah, that's nice, of course.
He was.
Was either that or
He's a-
biology.
and he's a hockey player.
Yes,
Oh,
very good.
He has,
hockey
he
player.
has
Very
all,
good
all his
hockey
teeth?
player.
All his teeth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For now
Rare.
he does.
Probably, yeah. You know, with the,
The modern
advent of
technology.
veneers and-
Modern technology.
you know.
So this is chapter 15, page 105. This is from Freddie's perspective.
It's not like you're like, you know, a third of the way through the novel before you get into us.
You don't want to be on page 1.
We're not a major character, I
No,
guess.
we're not a plot point. I hang up, throwing the phone back toward my bed before cranking up the volume of the TV. On the screen is some internet show I've watched for years that comforts me even now. Before heading into the bathroom for a long shower, hoping the steam and heat will wash away the hatred and gnawing guilt and fury swirling in my head. Now, you might think, how do you know that's about GMM? Well, stay tuned.
So right now we're just some internet show that I used to watch and I
No,
still
that
do.
I've watched for years that comforts me even now.
But is it some internet show?
Some internet show.
Some internet
Yeah,
show.
some internet show.
Watched for years, comforts me even now. Okay.
You're tracking?
I'm trying to decide if this makes me feel good.
Well, just wait. Chapter 17, page 121.
Okay.
Still Freddie talking. I consider her question for a moment, but shake my head, resting my elbow on the center console so our arms touch. Not really. I mainly watch YouTube videos. I like GMM. I don't say that I watch them all the time, often to fall asleep or when I first wake up. It weirdly makes me feel not so alone.
Huh.
I know.
Sweet.
GMM called out. I mean, they could have said good mythical morning, but that's not what the character would have said.
I take it even
Better.
better that it's just GMM. Now,
Yeah.
this is a good moment to acknowledge the possibility that the GMM in question
Yes.
is that Asian television show.
Yeah. We found out about that
But-
through hashtags, or it could be Good Morning Memphis
If you go to
or Good Morning Maryland. They both used hashtag GMM before we went at them years ago to say, no, that's our hashtag. Now I don't think we care about hashtags.
no, we don't, but SEO still matters. GMM TV. I think it is I think it's a whole network
Okay.
in Thailand. I don't know where it is, but anyway,
That's not what,
that's
Robbie
not
is watching.
some internet show.
nope.
And there's definitive proof in subsequent pages.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We're out of the book for a good ways.
Now,
140
I will
pages or
say
so.
with that second excerpt, there was the character had this security in our show, that like a comfort and security, but there was an insecurity in sharing that need. I have to watch this show in order to make me feel better.
He was like, yeah, I watch GMM. I'm not going to tell her that I watch it to not feel so alone.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that in my thoughts.
Yeah.
But on page 2,
We've made a fake character in a novel not feel alone.
yeah.
That makes me feel fake good.
On page
real good.
263, this is, I guess, Ro. This is her perspective. And I think, have they hooked up by this point?
Yes.
Okay.
And what kind of details do we have there?
Why didn't you mark that?
It goes well.
It goes very
well.
well.
But you said it's not too sloppy.
It's not too slow. They don't like go all the way for a while,
Oh, it's a dry hump.
but it's like basically she has this boyfriend that she breaks up with who is the worst.
The worst.
Yeah.
The worst
I
human
never
ever.
wanted the downfall of a character more in my life, and I read Game of Thrones.
Oh, wow.
I hate them.
Okay.
Literally. That made her, Ro, feel really insecure and bad about herself for just like having sexual urges in general. And so she can like lose all her inhibitions with Freddie. And so even though they don't go all the way, it's still pretty steamy.
Well, he's a tutor.
It's a slow burn, very,
She's the
and then
tutor.
it gets very
Oh.
steamy.
She's the tutor. even
She's
better.
tutoring
She's the
Freddie.
tutor. Yeah.
Okay.
I like
she's
that
the
a lot
smart one.
more, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. 263. This is Ro's perspective. I flip off the light. Something plays on the TV, muted but colorful enough to cast a glow over us. The same two guys eating ridiculous food at a desk, a comfort show he often turns on. It's calm and relaxing, welcoming in a strange way.
Ha! Welcoming. Did they do the dirty while we're on the
I hope so.
television?
I think that's what's implied.
Is that what is about to happen?
No,
We're muted and we're just watching
They cuddle and fall asleep together. I think is that scene.
while we
It's
eat
very
food and gawk at
nurturing
them.
and lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, light puffs of his breaths against my neck is what all that happens during GMM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Light neck puffs.
Yeah, I'll take a neck puff. And then the last mention, again, this is just using context on page 315. She turns on our favorite internet show, letting it autoplay as I rest my head on her shoulder and she rests hers on mine.
I know.
It became their show?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
So cute.
Peyton, Corrine, you have done your research.
I think it's Corinne,
Corinne.
right? I mean, that's what I would
I
say.
think so, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
Peyton, you've done your research. As we have also discovered, a lot of people find comfort just putting this on. Maybe we're muted, do a little cuddling, do a little neck puffing.
But like y'all have received so much fan mail over the years from couples talking about how they formed a connection while watching your show or because you watched the show. And like we get all the wedding invitations now of couples being like, it's our comfort. We watch it together. We always have a good laugh. And now it's in a romance novel and I love it.
And we're a part of a fictional romance.
Here's
a
Beautiful.
slow burn.
That is my favorite out of the book. I loved that. Yeah, I like it better than the first one, honestly.
Same.
okay, here's what I'll say, Peyton. First of all, thank you.
Thank you.
We are flattered. I don't believe that you put GMM in your book. So what is happening right now would happen. You're a good writer, a great writer as far as I can tell and as far as the internet seems to think, that's doing well. But if you did, we're very happy that you did that. And we invite you to do it.
We're happy to give you what you want, which
We're
is
happy-
promotion.
We're happy for you to do it as much as you want. And I have a proposition for you. Now, I will make a note here
Hold on
that
You haven't consulted me on any propositions.
you have, the cover of this book is tasteful, right? Now, my mother read romance novels growing up, and I would say that the tasteful is not how I would describe the covers.
Yeah, I would say a little bawdy, a little sweaty.
And we've always dreamed, the two of us here, me and this guy, of being on the cover of a romance novel.
Maybe being on different covers, but yes.
Yeah, maybe subsequent covers. And I don't know, I've been growing my hair out for a reason. For years.
I knew it. I knew that was the reason.
And so anyway, I don't know if you're gonna do like a second edition. I don't know what you think Freddie looks like. Maybe not like one of us. I don't know if there's ever an
It would
occasion.
be confusing if one of us were Freddie, then who would be, and also the guy
I'm just
in the internet
assuming,
show?
Peyton, that you're gonna keep writing. And maybe as you get older, things will get even baldier. I don't know how your career is gonna progress. I'm sure it's only going to get better at this point. But what I'm saying is that we are ready and willing to be cover models for your subsequent books, if that's something that you're interested in. Right?
All I'm really going to ask for is that just keep making us the symbol of successful relationships in all of your subsequent
Okay, that would be
novels.
great too.
I would really like that.
And also now I'm going to move on to other authors.
Oh, okay.
If you do decide to put us in your books in a positive light, yes, we'll probably talk about it on this very popular podcast.
Yeah. Especially if you can work in like youtube.com/goodmythicalmorning, subscribe, click the bell, like go all the way.
Yeah.
Leave a review wherever you get your podcast, kind of a thing, you know?
And you've heard it here.
You can actually put that in there.
And you'll get something like this. You'll get, hey, have you read Unloved, a novel by Peyton Corinne, author of Unsteady? She's earnest, raw, I don't know if she is. Earnest, raw, and sexy. Unloved brims with tenderness and heart, the college romance of my dreams. That's from Elena Armas, New York Times bestselling author. And there's other things that are said on the back of this book that are very praiseworthy about this book. People like it. We've got two women right here in this room that read it and loved it. And they didn't just love it because it mentioned GMM. They loved it because it's a good, solid romance novel.
Yep.
Okay?
And we can write on the back for the next edition,
We could endorse it. Sight unseen at this point.
a moving tale of forbidden love between a tutor and tutess. Featuring, though not featuring quite enough,
Oh, come on. Don't ruin it for us. Don't ruin it for us.
Good Mythical Morning and Rhett Link.
featuring Rhett Link. If you do a second
Written by
edition,
Link and Rhett.
can you do a second edition that says featuring Rhett and Link on the cover?
Yeah. Yeah. Muted. Featuring a muted Rhett and Link.
Yeah.
All right. We've arrived. We have arrived. Hit us.
All right, I already left too, but
Okay.
I need to see you guys do this. It's been going around on TikTok. Okay, so what you have to do is breathe all the air out of your lungs and try your best to scream. Make no air and try and scream.
Okay. So we're gonna do this? Have you seen people do this? I haven't.
Yeah, I saw it a few months back. Still going, huh?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
this was a recent.
Let's do it one at a
voicemail.
time.
You gotta do it one at a time.
You want to go first? Breathe out. Don't breathe
All
in
air.
first.
All
Just breathe
air.
out. Start right now. Start breathing. You just breathe. You breathed in first. Why'd you do that? He's breathing out. He's still emptying big old lungs. Ah. Was that real, dude? That's all you got? Ah.
I got. Hey, I got every single drop of air out of my lungs because I'm not scared of drowning, dry drowning. I know you are, so you gotta.
I have a fear of wet drowning. I don't know what dry drowning is. Now that you give me another fear.
Get it all out.
Well, first of all, I'm going to unpack what just happened to you. What did that feel like? Did it hurt?
No.
Ah,
I felt nothing.
ah,
I felt nothing.
ah.
See if
That's
you can,
what it was.
See if you can do.
That's the sound you made. Ah.
It was like a volleyball that had been squished completely all the way down to nothing. That just means I emptied completely.
There's no more air in there.
All right, let's see what you got. Keep going, and when you think there's nothing left, you have to keep going again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And don't breathe in and just scream without breathing in. Okay.
That's dramatic. That's dramatic.
All right, I'm doing it again.
Yeah, you trying again? He's pushing that one. I was laughing when it happened to me. It hurts. It hurts so bad.
Crying.
It is the most pitiful looking.
That's what it's gonna look like when you die.
Yeah.
You
It
just
just-
saw how I'm gonna die.
You looked so pitiful.
My grandkids are
Like-
gonna watch that happen.
Oh my god! For everyone listening, they need to watch the video.
You gotta love this video.
Literally watch
Because
it.
the sound, the sound is one thing, but just the look in your face. I don't want to do it again.
Do it again.
All right, I'm gonna
Do it again. You had a little too much air, I think.
think?
You got a laugh out of it.
Yeah, I was.
It does hurt though.
It's giving me flashbacks to when Jason Valencia challenged me to a chicken fighting competition in grade school, and we were hanging on the monkey bars, and his first kick landed square in my chest,
Oh yeah.
and I fell on the floor, and it like everything seized up, and I couldn't breathe. It froze. And I went, ah! That's the only sound I can make. And everybody was watching. I was on the ground going, you know how when
Getting the wind knocked out of
getting
you,
the
man.
wind knocked out of you is
There's
the
nothing
worst,
like
man.
it, man. It's always funny though. It's always funny.
I mean, what is that? All the air sacs we're like completely collapsed.
Yeah, you
And
need
then
that
you're
every
like-
once in a while.
And then I guess your diaphragm is trying to push up the last little bit.
It's like squeezing a toothpaste tube. It's the end of a toothpaste tube.
Yeah, I don't like that feeling, boy. That feeling of like smushification.
I kind of like it. I didn't know I would like that.
I mean, filling your lungs with air, like taking like a huge breath like that, that's very healthy. Like complete oxygenation. Like you might go days or longer without a complete oxygenation.
A complete exhale is good for you too, though, because you get all the carbon monoxide out. Carbon dioxide?
But then you love.
If you've got a bunch of carbon monoxide in your lungs,
Yeah,
you got a problem.
you can kill somebody.
I need to be tutored. I need to be tutored in chemistry
Oh,
by Roe to know the difference between carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. It's CO and CO2. Okay, I took Chem 101.
I love the fact that when Freddie found someone and he was no longer lonely, he didn't give up our show.
They brought each other into it.
They were in it together.
Yes, we've seen many
Because I was afraid that Freddie wouldn't need us.
many relationships enhanced.
We bring people together.
Maybe we should start catering. We should have like
making trays of food.
yeah, that too. We'll do anything.
Right.
1 week,
Rhett Link hot tins.
1 day, a month. Something that acknowledges the lovers who are watching together.
Well, we got celibacy week.
Well, that's the opposite.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's think
Something
about
to think about.
it. Hit us.
Hey, my name's Jake. I'm calling kind of in response to the voicemail someone left about what to do to text their ex-boyfriend's new partner. And you guys talked about the Are We Dating the Same Guy pages. My mom actually was once in this situation and found out that the person she was dating through a Facebook page was dating many women and was also all around, even outside of that, a piece of, can I say shit?
You can.
And ended up reaching out to these women, and now they're all like best friends. So I say text the person back if you haven't. You could have a new great friend. All right, that's all. Wanted to share.
Okay.
Bye.
Real world experience. It's better than what we were doing, which is just pulling stuff out of our asses.
Yeah. Because I don't quite remember what our advice was. It was,
Girl code. She called her and said, "Why did you break up with
Yep.
him?"
and we gave the right advice then. We gave that advice, which is, yeah, you need to let them know. Let her know.
Yeah, don't be afraid about that connection if you're looking out for your fellow girl.
I mean, have we ever been in a relationship? Have we ever been friends with somebody who dated the same person? Yes, us. Of course, in middle school, it was kind of frivolous,
It was.
by that point.
Uh,
Have you been friends with somebody? Did you meet someone through having dated the same person? Now you're friends with them? A whole corral of them?
I gotta go back through the list.
Yeah. I would say like definitely in high school.
Yeah.
It was like not as serious.
yeah,
you
it happens
know?
all the time in school.
Um,
And that's my advice for high schoolers. And I've given this advice to high schoolers
Mm-hmm.
that I may or may not be related to. That when you break up in high school, don't let it dissolve the friend group.
That's good.
Because it's just like, don't let that, in high school especially.
That
like
really
college,
messes stuff up.
College it depends. College is a little bit borderline whether or not you remain friends or you, not remain close, but like you're still in the friend group. For us, we had like the same 12 or so people that were
Right. Just
friends throughout high school, and we didn't want to break it up. We all just broke up and went out with each other over and over again, and it didn't matter.
yeah, it was like just a random recombination of elements.
Right.
But yeah, because it's tragic when that diffuses an entire friend group. Just don't talk to each other. Talk to the other people in the friend group and be civil about it. It can work.
Yeah.
And then slowly, you'll both date somebody else and you'll be distracted and it won't matter anymore.
Won't matter.
Won't matter anymore.
I have warned a friend that their partner was cheating on them and they got mad at me.
Got mad at you.
Yeah. Like I was like, hey, by the way, this picture is going around social media.
Oh.
And then she got mad at me. She's like, I can't believe you're telling everyone. I was like, I didn't tell anyone. I told you. That's it. And she
Okay.
stayed with him for a while.
But then it ended.
Yeah, like after years.
And are you still friends with this person?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, well, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, why are you mad at me?
Did your friend apologize?
No.
Yeah, sometimes people don't like the messenger. Sometimes they don't like the messenger. Okay, so you saw what could happen in the real world. Let's hear another question.
Hey, Rhett Link. My name is Ella. I'm from North Carolina. I'm currently a college student at NC State. Go Pack. But I just have a little issue that I would love some advice on. So I have this friend who is very good in small doses, can be a bit overbearing and a bit self-absorbed and a bit mean, but she is sweet occasionally. And so I prefer our friendship in maybe like every other month hangouts. Anyway, we are working in the same city for the summer, and I had been planning on taking a 4-hour drive to see another one of our friends just for a weekend. And I must have mentioned this to her because she just sent me a text that said, by the way, if you end up making that 4-hour drive, I'm coming. And I didn't really know how to respond to that because I do think if I spend 4 hours in a car with her, I will lose my mind. And I can't do that, but I still want to go on this trip. I just don't know how to like break it to her that I don't want to spend 8 hours total in a car with her. So any advice would be so helpful. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Okay, thanks.
Okay, all right. Oh gosh, this is tough. This is tough because my first thing is like, if you knew all of this, you seem to be saying that yes, you slipped up and mentioned it, but so I could be putting you on the hook here as the problem. You should have kept it secret completely to avoid all of this. But doesn't that feel icky?
Yeah.
Yeah, because how would she know that that friend would invite themselves?
Well, it sounds like she may have known that this is the type of thing that the friend might do.
No, she just mentioned it offhand, and then the friend like goes all the way to
now
say,
you know.
I am coming. I mean, first of all, this makes sense. I mean, just because you're friends with somebody doesn't mean you want to spend all your time with them. And it doesn't mean that the amount of time you want to spend with them equals the amount of time that they want to spend with you. Like there's different levels of tolerances and we're all individuals. But if you're trying to school somebody on that or talk about it, that can be hurtful. I can't be in a car with you for 4 hours. Matter of fact, I can't be around you more than one session every 2 months.
Ooh.
That's not the type of thing that you want to say, but it's real, right? It's real.
Practically.
I mean, I know there's never a time that you want to have a little space from me.
Never.
And I would never want to have any space from you.
Right.
Or even with our wives. I'm sure there's never a time that Christy wants to have space from me.
Never. She's never mentioned that to me. Practically, this is the way that I'm just going to tell you the way that I would handle it, not the way that you should handle it. I'm just going to be without getting strategic. What I would do in this situation is I would let them come, and I would no. Again, I'm not. This is not my advice.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what I would do.
What you would do.
I'm conflict avoidant.
You'd bite the bullet.
I don't like hurting people's feelings, and I end up like, taking one for the team. I'm pretty good at that. So I would let them go, and then I would do some sort of like Zen thing with I would talk myself into, this is a good thing for me to learn how to be with this person And like, you know, the fact that they're a little bit intolerable in my mind is a good reason, as a spiritual practice, let's use that term broadly, as a spiritual practice to bring this person along. I would justify it in that way. And then what I would do on the back end is I would just make sure that I never invited them to any, like, I would make sure that I didn't make the same mistake again. And be like, this time they found out, okay, I'll let them come and I'll try to make it into some sort of edifying experience.
You give them one last chance?
And
Is that
then,
what you're doing?
well, and the interesting thing, and maybe you already know this if you know this person well, but I've had a couple of situations in life where there was somebody that I didn't really want to be around, and then circumstances precipitated that gave me no choice but to be around them for a long period of time. And I ended up getting to appreciate them or like them almost as in the same way I made myself like honey mustard when I was a kid.
Okay.
You know, I didn't like honey mustard, but I kept seeing it on things and everyone else seemed to like it. And it kept showing up next to chicken tenders. And so I was like, I'm going to make and first of all, honey mustard is pretty easy to like. Let me just say, in retrospect, it's pretty easy to like, especially for me. But for some reason, I didn't like it. And I made myself like it, and now I like it. And I've done that with people as well.
Hold on. Am I honey mustard?
No, you're not honey mustard. You're more like
sweet and sour.
Yeah, you're something a little more polarizing than honey mustard. I mean, yeah, but
sweet and sour.
Sweet and sour. But
so he's trying to tell you this is an avenue of personal growth.
This is the thing. That's what I would do because I don't like to have the conversation that Link may be about to tell you to have, which is to just be honest with the person.
Nope. I have something better than that.
Okay.
But finish your thought.
And I'm just saying that right or wrong, that's the way I would do it. And then it may make my trip miserable. And I stand by the fact that that is a possibility.
Life's too short, man. You could die on this trip. It could be your last trip.
But I also don't think that life is about curating your experience to be exactly what you want.
Well, that's a good point. And I would seem like a jerk if I disagree with that.
No, because I think that you can get really committed to curating your experience and having everything the way that you want, and then realize that actually makes it harder and harder for you to curate your experience.
That's a nugget. All right, so that being said and agreed with.
Okay.
If you don't want to go down that path, hey, your front seat's broken in your car. Your back seat is full of stuff.
Oh, you just lie.
Nope, you got to break your seat. I think break your seat first and then say, my front seat is broken.
I think you have to take all seats out.
Yeah, all my seats are out.
Yeah, they're being washed.
And then they're out. You don't have them.
Or take a moped.
I think that.
I'm taking a moped on this 4 hour
We're going
drive.
on a one-person moped. You can put two people on a moped. It's dangerous.
I don't think the friend would still go on a moped.
Yeah.
I think they would say no.
Here's what I'm thinking. It seems to me that you want to be a type of person that can, if you want to be able to set ground rules and like the playing field of relationships so that you can be honest and it not be this type of thing where it's like, oh my God, I am now devastated because this person didn't invite me to every single thing. It's like, or I think if the challenge is to take this long play of telling people what you think in a way that they get used to that being part of who you are.
Certainly.
That's the flip side, So it's like, or you could say, could make it about you and not about them. It would be something, I don't know what you would say there. It would be possible for you to come, but I just want to be honest and say I really have determined that I need some alone time, and I've been looking forward to the road trip in it as its own thing
strategy.
Of me just I have some thoughts that I need to get straight in my head, and I do that while driving. Hopefully all this can become true. And then you're sitting there like, I need to have this time to myself. You know, in all relationships, especially the closest ones, I think it's a healthy thing to be able to say without the other person taking offense, I need some time alone. I need my own space without the other person in the relationship getting offended. I think that's something that Christy and I have worked through that dynamic. And sometimes if one of us gets in our head that like we miss the other person or we feel a little disconnected, and if the other person is thinking the opposite, that they need more space or whatever, it can feel personal, it can feel hurtful.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you work through it, you can talk about, hey, this is just how I'm wired. And I love you to death, but I can only really see you once every 2 months. If you're saying that to your partner, that's
a problem.
That's going to be a bigger problem. But I don't know. Can you say that to a friend? I can only take you in small doses. I might say that to somebody, but that probably hurt their feelings. I don't see any way around that.
It would.
So I wouldn't say that. Make it about you and your choice.
I think you can say that too. I think there are levels of relationships in which you could say that, especially if someone is clearly overbearing. You know, I think sometimes people need to. I'm going to sneeze.
Well, cover your mouth.
I will.
You should have breathed all the way out first.
Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine what that does to a sneeze? Next time I'll do it.
Breathe out slowly.
Because I don't want to be.
You don't want to be a jerk.
No, I don't want to be a jerk, but I agree. Like, I don't think that you should never say this kind of thing to people. I'm saying in this scenario, if it's one trip, I'm just telling you what I would do.
But if you made plans, you made plans to go on a trip, this is your trip.
If it was a week.
If somebody literally invites themselves on the trip and you don't want them to be there.
You have every right to tell them not to go.
But
I'm just telling you
you're
what I
planning
would
with
do.
Another friend.
Again, I'm just telling you what I would do.
But you need, I think the personal growth is not finding a way to tolerate somebody that you don't want to be there. Sounds like the personal growth could be, I've got to be able to say what I feel and I'm thinking. I need to represent myself.
Of course, and I think there's a time and a place for, and this
separate
may be the time and a place.
My actions from your feelings.
I just think that there's a line for it, right?
So it's like this middle ground we're trying to find.
And I think that it's a line is different for everybody, right? If this person was saying, if I was going on a week-long camping excursion and they invite, I'd be like, hold on. I've got the whole I want to be alone, or I was looking forward to just the time with this person to really connect. You know, I recently had case in point. I have a group of people that I hang out with occasionally, and I have another friend who was like, do you think when you hang out with those people, would it be okay if I came?
Huh.
And he kind of knew, because the time that I have with this particular group is kind of like special and intermittent and requires travel and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And so, and I was like, and he was like, we don't see each other enough. So is there some way, because he kind of knows those guys or whatever. And I was like, actually, I think what I've got with those guys is really special and something that has been building over the course of years, and I really want to maintain that dynamic. And so I don't think that would be but he's a friend who I can say things like that to.
So you did say that.
Yeah.
And how did he respond?
He was like, cool. And again, it was also because it wasn't about me. I was protecting the other guys. Not from him, but just because I do believe in the dynamic that I have with those guys. Yeah. And so, and it would be a bit of an intrusion up on that. I think a lot of times for me, it's like, if I'm the only one who's going to suffer, I find some way to like make like a spiritual practice out of it. But if I'm like, this is going to upset these other people, then I'm in this trolley problem situation where I have to minimize the amount of upset for other people. And so I wouldn't necessarily say that was me like standing up for myself as much as it was me standing up for the dynamic in this other group. But I do say I am honest with people like that when I need to be. But sometimes I'm just like, okay, this is what this is going to be tonight, or this is what this is going to be this weekend or whatever. And I'll just deal with it.
But if you were really looking forward to the trip, and then dude's like, oh yeah, that thing that you happened to mention to me but didn't invite me on, I am going.
Yeah.
And you were really looking forward to it.
I would be like, well, you can't just invite yourself to something. I mean, if I think, I don't know if I would if I have somebody in my life who would say that to me, I'm going.
Right.
So this is an interesting situation. I don't know if I've got somebody that would say that. And if they did, I would be like, well, you can't invite yourself.
Or I think what you should say is, you know what? I planned this just to be me alone on the road, which is, if there's something about that works for you, put that in there, and then talk about like what you're hoping for with the friend. It's not that I'm trying to exclude you, but I need this for these reasons. And I'm looking forward to it for these reasons, and I don't want you to take it personally. And then you know what? Let's plan something else 2 months from now.
In a short window, not a 4-hour trip. I think that's it. I think that's a good place.
I think that's what you got to figure out how to do. Don't let Rhett guilt you into taking one for the team so you can be more Buddhist. Or whatever. Be selfish. You know what? Life's too short to think about other people's needs.
But but I know you don't mean that. But I don't think it is a choice between, because I think that.
But you're talking. I mean, you said you made it seem like it was a little selfish to curate an experience for yourself. But if you made plans with a friend and somebody butts in, that's just plans you've made.
I don't disagree.
When you make the plans, you're in charge of the plans. It's like I'm planning a birthday party. It's up to me who I invite.
That's true, but
and then if somebody says, "Hey, I heard about your birthday party. I'm coming to that." It was like, well, the reason why I didn't invite you to this is for this reason. And then I would say, "But I'm inviting you to this," and I'd be making that up on the spot.
Right, but that's a different thing, because you planned something ahead of time. I think I'm more talking about the things that the case in point that I was talking about before was. It was actually what I've probably told this story before, but when we were on summer project, so I was in college. This is a long time ago, and you're hanging out with these different students doing ministry work, and you get into these smaller groups, and they randomly made the smaller groups to be like mixes of guys and girls or whatever, and I don't know how they determined who was going to be in what group. And there's only like 30 people there, and I had just gotten to know this guy. And I just remember thinking, well, as long as that dude's not in my group.
Uh-huh.
And then he was the only other guy in my group.
Oh.
And, and of course I was in a spiritual mood, and I was in summer project. Like, you're like as spiritual as you can be for the summer, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But what I did find is we became good friends, and we actually ended up like I was like, okay, this is what I'm being taught right now. I would have said this is what God is teaching me at this moment, is that sometimes you don't get to be with the person that you want to be with. This is the person that you're with. So I'm just saying that principle, there is something to, like, when things happen that you don't like the wrong person shows up at your party. Whether they, if they came with somebody else, plus one shows up and it's somebody that you don't like you have a choice in that moment to be like, I'm going to make the most out of this, or I'm going to try to control it and keep this person out. And I do agree This is a different situation. I'm just saying that there probably is an opportunity at times, depending on your personality and what you need. It might be like, you know what? I'm going to let this person come with me, and I'm going to see if I can find something to appreciate about them. Yeah. Like that can happen. That could be an option.
I think we're highlighting, you got to know where like what your tendencies are and why you're making the decision and what your weaknesses are. You can know how to play against those and develop. But just to zoom back out to like the most common scenario here, and that's, let's just say it's 3 friends. And you all know each other, and at times all 3 of you hang out. But then you hear that they hung out without you. You weren't invited.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's all 3 of you. You have a text group together that's all 3 of you. It has a name. But apparently they texted each other and made plans without you and showed up, and it was, so what do you do there?
If you're the person who's excluded?
Who's excluded? You know, is your feelings hurt?
Of course.
They probably are, but then what? What do you do with that?
Well, you know.
And should we as friends be able to do things with other friends?
Of course.
Without the other friend, because it's the dynamics, you have to, well, I think that's the question.
Well, that specific scenario, Mel Robbins addresses that in Let Them, which is a great book, by the way.
Okay.
You know, this the let them theory or whatever, which is pretty simple, but it's complex enough to write a whole book about it. But it's essentially, she talks about this situation actually pretty early on of finding out that she hadn't been invited to something that she was the one who was excluded from, like a vacation or something. And I think a vacation, families going on vacation, that she had been one of the families before and all of a sudden she wasn't, I think is something like that.
I mean, that's even bigger when there's a pattern and it's like a special occasion thing.
But the whole point of the book and the whole point
I think that requires conversation. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but the whole point of the theory was, of the let them thing, is to, am I going to insert, what she did is at first she was defensive and she was mad and she was judgmental, but then she started looking at the situation and started asking questions about, well, why might this be the case? And then she saw some things and she saw that, I really haven't been as involved with them in the same way that we were. And it kind of, like, from their perspective, this could make sense. And I'm going to let them do this and have them enjoy this time. And I am going to make a decision to respond in a way that's healthy for me. I'm butchering a little bit of the logic, but I think that I do think that if that's happening, you might want to ask the question why it is. And also,
I think that warrants a conversation. You can just ask.
If it's 3 people, of course.
Because going from 3 to 2 is a huge dynamic shift. And sometimes you like one-on-one time with a friend and it has nothing to do with the person you're not inviting. It's just, that's just how dynamics are. I don't know. Are we good?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've answered the hell out of that.
Well, then let's hit one more to.
Hey, Rhett Link. My name's Amanda. I wanted to enter myself into the accent challenge because I think that it's hard to guess where I'm from. So I'm going to say 2 words, and I want to see if you guys can guess where I am from or what state. Coffee, water.
So I was definitely in the Northeast the whole time you were talking.
Coffee?
And when you said water.
Water? Coffee? Water.
I think you're from Pennsylvania.
Okay, so who says water? So
people from Philadelphia say water.
I thought water to me feels like it's southern, but you're saying that there's something else that's causing people to say water.
Oh yeah. Coffee? She's not
coffee.
Yeah,
you got to be up there if you're saying coffee.
I think you're from
water.
Pennsylvania, and specifically Philly. I think.
I don't know where they say water. I think it might be more north. This might be all the way in Maine.
Okay, let's find out.
I'm from New Jersey, specifically South Jersey. Thank you.
Water.
South Jersey, they say water?
South Jersey isn't far off from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's very close.
Or Maine.
You're in the
really.
Yeah.
relatively speaking, if you look at the whole globe,
But
I'd say
do
we're
they
both pretty
say
close.
water in Philly? Because they say there's a couple of words that they say that are really, and I can't think of them right now, but like they only say those words in Philly, like home.
Yeah,
Whom?
that's one of them. My family's from Jersey, and the coffee gave it away. The water is weird because it's like that. I feel like it's very specific to like very South Jersey for
okay.
Jersey. Because I was gonna say Massachusetts actually, like Worcester.
Okay, yeah, because the coffee wasn't as
Yeah.
Philly, right? So I don't know.
It's a fun little game, though. You can.
That was as close as we've gotten in a long time.
Leave us a voicemail with your questions, or if you want us to guess your accent, anything that you want to weigh in on that we've talked about. If you've just been like, oh, I wish I could say something right now. Well, here's your chance. 1-888-EARPOD1. And just be a good friend. But sometimes you can be a better friend than other times. Sometimes you got to be a good friend to yourself. Sometimes you got to be a good friend to your friends. And sometimes, if you can't do both, you got to make a choice. And as long as you spread that choice out over time, I think you're okay. I just felt like I needed to say that.
You need to answer that question even more.
Yeah, I need to answer that question even more.
Hey, Rhett Link. This is Audrey. I just wanted to say, love you guys. I have a lifelong best friend, and she showed me you guys, and it's become such a really big part of our long-distance friendship. And I just really appreciate you guys. Thanks for everything you do, and for making a good name for long-term best friends. Peace.